Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Illustrator to make a pear similar to this one. Let's get started. First, go to File, New, or click the Create New button. I'm going to choose Web, Minimum, and then title my project. And create. Now on my nice blank document, I'm going to go to Window and open my swatches, and I'm going to choose this kind of yellow-green color right here. It looks like a good color for a pear. And I just found out that I can actually change my swatch colors here. So if I click X on the keyboard, that brings the black stroke forward, and I can just set that to none right here in the swatches without having to go way over to the tool panel on the left. Now I'm going to click X again to make the green come forward. Now using keyboard shortcuts, I'm going to press L, which switches to the ellipse tool. I'm going to click and drag out a nice oval. Now P on the keyboard switches to the pen tool. You can see that there are 4 anchor points. I'm going to click halfway between approximately these 2 anchor points to add a new one. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So approximately halfway between this one and this one, I'll click. Now I have 2 extra anchor points added. A on the keyboard switches to the direct selection tool. I'm going to click this top anchor point and stretch it up, and it's already starting to look like a pear. I'm going to widen this a little bit, and then I'm going to grab these handles down here. So if I click right on the anchor point, I can see both ends of the handle, and I'm just going to start shaping these on both sides so that it looks more like a pear shape. And fruits and vegetables are all different shapes and sizes, so everybody's can look a little bit different. There's not really a right and wrong way to do it. So it's up to your imagination and what you think looks good. So let's see here. Yeah, I think that looks like a pear shape. Next thing that I'm going to do is add the leaf. So over here in my swatch panels again, I'm going to choose a darker green color, maybe this one right here. And L on the keyboard switches to the ellipse tool. I'm going to click and drag a medium-sized leaf off here to the side. Then A on the keyboard is the direct selection tool. I'm going to click on this top anchor point to reveal the handles, and I'm just going to grab this one and pull it back toward the center of the oval, and I get kind of a nice leaf shape up there at the bottom, top. Now here at the bottom, I'm going to click this bottom anchor point, and I'm going to kind of drag this towards the center too. Then V on the keyboard switches to the the selection tool. I'm just going to rotate this and kind of place it up here towards the top. Next, I'm going to work on the stem. So let's see, my stem, I guess I'll make it a brown color. So here's a medium brown that I've changed the fill. I'm going to, L on the keyboard is the ellipse tool. I'm going to drag an oval shape, maybe something kind of like that. A on the keyboard for the direct selection tool. I'll click on the top to reveal the handles. I can barely see them. So I'll pull out the handles on the sides. There we go. And maybe I'll pull this in. And you can also use the arrow keys on your keyboard. So I'm going to make that a little skinnier. Yeah, okay. Next, I'm going to add a little line right here to make it look like the stem is poked into the top of the pear. So I'm going to make that a medium green color. I'll choose this one. And I need to get rid of the brown. So I'm going to click X on the keyboard and set that to none. And choose the paintbrush tool or push B on the keyboard. And I'm just going to click and drag a kind of a half circle shape on here. Something like that. But it's not wide enough. So I'm going to push V on the keyboard to switch to the selection tool, click on my line, then over here in the appearance panel where it says stroke, I can see that it's 1 point. And I'm going to try 5. Oh, 5's too big. Let's try 3. And Control Shift A to deselect. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think actually I'm going to move it down a little bit and click the stem and move the stem down a little bit. There, now it looks like the stem is going into an indent on top of the pear. Next thing that I'm going to do is make the face. So I'll go with a classic black eye, so I'll choose black for my color. L on the keyboard. To get the ellipse tool, I'm going to hold down Shift, drag out an eye, and Control Shift A to deselect. I'll switch to white. L for the ellipse tool. Hold down Shift, drag out a circle, and I'm going to hold. I haven't let go of the mouse yet. I'm going to hold down the space bar so that I can move the eye around. Now I'm going to make another ellipse. Hold down Shift on the keyboard and right there. Control Shift A to deselect. Now I'm going to make a different kind of eye. I'm going to make a winky eye. So P on the keyboard for the pen tool, and I want it to be a black stroke. So I'm going to set the fill to none. Click or push X on the keyboard to bring the fill forward and choose black. Now I'm going to, in approximately the same area as the eye, click, don't drag, just click, click, and click. That's going to be my winky eye. So to make this tail go away, just hit Enter on your keyboard and that stops it. So this stroke is way too small. I'm actually going to open up my stroke panel. So Window, Stroke, and go to the side menu and show options. Let's drag this down here. Let's try size 5, and I'm going to make the caps round and make the corners round, and I think it needs to be actually, yeah, 8 looks good. Okay, and maybe a bit larger, so V on the keyboard to switch to the selection tool. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to do is make the mouth, and I'm going to make a different kind of mouth this time. L on the keyboard to get the ellipse tool. I'm going to click and drag an oval, and over here in my swatches, X on the keyboard to bring the fill forward. I'm going to choose this pink color, but it's way too bright, so I'm going to double click on it here and use the sliders to make it a better color. And I'm going to click Preview right here so that I can see the changes as they happen on my project. I think that pink looks okay, so I'll just click OK. Now M on the keyboard to switch to the rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw a rectangle right over the top of this. V on the keyboard for the selection tool. Hold down Shift and make sure that both of these shapes are selected, and then go to Pathfinder and choose minus front, which is the second button over. V on the keyboard for the selection tool, and I'll put that mouth right there. And my project is finished. Have fun, everyone!